Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while and I am here today to do my November and my December wrap up. In all honesty, I had filmed my November wrap up in like the beginning of December, and just life, I didn't post it and I didn't edit it. And then December, the end of December was nearing and I had only read 2 books or finished 2 books. And so because of that, I just decided to put them together. Disclaimer, if my hair is flying, it's because the fan is on. I should actually maybe just turn that off so you can't hear it. Yes, let's do that. Okay, that was very smart of me. Also, I love my sweatshirt so much. It says, "Darling, this is just a chapter." And then my sleeve says, "Not the whole story." And my best friend gave it to me for my birthday. It's my new favorite clothing item, so I will be wearing this constantly. So, without further ado, first of all, actually, Happy New Year. It's January 4th right now. It's January 4th and 2024 is upon us. Can't believe it. I'm excited about this year. It's gonna be quite the year, I think, with life and things that are coming up, and I'm very excited. Also maybe a little nervous just to see where God takes me, but mostly excited. So yes, I read 6 books in November and 2 books in December. December and November honestly were very busy months for us, and reading wasn't a huge priority, especially in December. So, but now let's just go ahead and talk about them. And I probably won't go into much detail about the books because it's been a while. But yeah, I'll try to convince you to read the ones that I loved. So here we go. The first one I read in November was Line of Duty by Terry Blackstock. I have been reading this series over the past like maybe 2 years, and finally finished the last book, and I gave it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm not remembering right now what it's about. Oh yes, it's like there's a bombing of a building. And I think this is book number 5, and I think the 4th book in the series was gonna be the last book in the series, if I'm remembering my facts correctly. But then 9/11 happened, and she wrote this book kind of as a tribute to that maybe, and has just similar things. And yeah, you're continuing to follow the people in this town that you followed in the rest of the books, so I won't go into much detail, but I really enjoyed it. And I do like her faith content in her books, so I really enjoyed this one. And then my favorite book of this whole wrap up, like I wish I could talk about it last, because you know you just want to save the best for last, but I can't, or I could, hold on, but I'm not going to. My tripod is giving me issues today. I could talk about it last, but I'm not going to, just for the sake of going in order. But this made it probably into the top, dare I say, top 5 of the year. I'm not sure, but it's like top tier, definitely. Finding Lady Enderly by Joanna Davidson Politano. If you've watched my videos over the course of the past 1.5 years, you know I'm a huge Joanna Politano fan. And this book did not disappoint at all. My reactions to this book, I really wish I could have had all my reactions on video, because it was truly just such an amazing experience. Like, the reading experiences was one of my favorites. This is about Raina, who is a rag woman in London's East End. And basically a stranger appears, a handsome stranger. And sorry, if my camera keeps lowering, my tripod is just being dumb. So sorry. It's not staying, is it? I don't know. So sorry. Top quality today, guys. Where was I? But the stranger comes and basically tells her that she needs to come work at this job, and she doesn't really know what it's gonna be, and she thinks that it's gonna be as like working and she doesn't realize what this entails, and you find out pretty soon. And then there's just I can't say much because I just really want you to go into this not knowing and just being like completely absorbed into the story the way I was. So Finding Lady Enderly is definitely a favorite of the year, and I'll sing its praises forever and ever and always. And then I read A Castaway in Cornwall by Julie Klassen. This is my third Julie Klassen, and I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I find her books, at least the ones I've read, to be a little bit slower. And, but yeah, I still enjoy them overall. It's very interesting. So one thing I will say about this book, the prologue, or like, I don't know if it was called the prologue, but it was the prologue basically, started off with the main character. It was like written in first person, and immediately I was sucked in, and I was like, I hope this is how she writes the rest of the book, in first person. And it wasn't. It was in third person. And I really wish she would have like written the whole book in first person, which I don't know if she does that at all in her books. I don't think any of the ones that I've read have been in first person, which is what I love about these books, Joanna's books, because they are written in first person, I think most of them. So, oh, there's a hair. But basically she finds a man and rescues him when he's shipwrecked, and it is their story, and there's some mysterious elements and cutesy little love story. So I would still recommend her books, even though they're not like my top favorite. And then I read The Proposal by Lori Wick, and I gave this 4.75 stars. It was so good. I feel like when I'm in the mood for her books, they just hit, and they're just sweet and fun and lighthearted, but also they do have like some serious things in them, and I love her faith content in them, and I love watching her characters come to Christ, honestly. And this is really cool because it's about a man who he isn't married, but suddenly one of his family members dies, and he is left with their children, and he doesn't know how to raise kids. He's never had kids, and so it's just kind of their journey. And then he goes to live with a sister, and then where he meets Marion, is that her name? Marion. And it goes on from there. And it's very cute, and I loved it. And then I read Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table by Louis Giglio. I read this like most of October through the end of November, and I gave it 4 stars. This is based off of his message series, Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table, and I'm not even sure if I've listened to all of the messages that are kind of in that series, if that is what it's called, if it's like a series. I don't know. But his message, Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table, is one of my favorite messages, like probably ever, that I can remember. And so I was excited to read this book. I obviously tabbed a lot. I will say the writing style was not quite my favorite, but I still really recommend this book, and I really recommend the message, listening to his message as well. So yeah, recommend this one. And then I don't have the book with me because first of all, let me preface this by saying the book was very damaged because I got it for free at the store that I work at, because it was like water damaged and just like in terrible condition. So, and then I didn't like it. So I threw it away. And that is The German Girl by Arman. Oh, I don't remember his name. I'll put the book up somewhere and you can see. Don't really recommend. I gave it 3 stars. The longer it goes, maybe it could be like a 2.5 to 2. And it's really strange because at the beginning I did like it, or I was enjoying it, and I got to the middle towards the end and I just couldn't wait for it to be over, and I almost DNF'd it, but there was a part of the story, an aspect of the story that I really wanted more of, and I wish we would have spent more time in there. So it's like a dual timeline, and I wanted to be in the past timeline and not the present, and that was the main thing. And then how the book wrapped up. What? I don't know. And I don't even remember exactly what the plot was about, so I don't recommend it. And if I was in the right mood for it, maybe it was just my reading mood at the time. But I didn't like it, so we'll move on. Okay, then moving on to December, the first book that I finished is All That It Takes by Nicole Deese. I gave this 4.5 stars, tabbed it. I love Nicole Deese's writing. And so yeah, I knew I was gonna enjoy this. This is book 2 in the, what is the series called? I don't know what the series is called. But it's a series, but the first book, or it's a duology. The first book is All That Really Matters, and then this is All That It Takes. And also, I got this at the thrift store that I work at, and I opened it, and it has a signed, like, plate on it. And that's my second book that I've signed by her. So, I thought that was pretty cool. This is about Val, who is moving to a new community, and something happens with the job that she's going to have with her best friend that gets postponed. And then she's living in her best friend's brother's upstairs apartment, like renting it from him because she needed a place to live. And so, can you guess what happens? You'll never guess. But I really liked it. I like her faith content, and I thought it was really sweet. And I'm excited to read more of her books. Her book coming out in April, which is the second book. I can't reach it. The Words We Lost, if you remember, from like last year. I read it and absolutely loved it. And book 2 is coming out, and I'm so excited. So, yes. And the last book I read was A Wolf Called Wonder by Roseanne Perry. I give it 4 stars. This is just a very cute middle grade book about a wolf who gets separated from his family, and he goes off to kind of on a journey of finding his place and all the adventures he encounters along the way. It's a very quick read, and it's based off of a real wolf who, like, I think it was, he like journeyed across parts of America, and they had record of him. And so that was kind of cool. And I have her other book, A Whale of the Wild, and I don't know when I'll read it, but I'm excited to do so. So that is my wrap up. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got some recommendations. Thank you for continuing to watch these, even though you never know when they're coming out. Life is just, I feel like I say this in every video, and I think I just need to remind myself that life right now is just a little bit harder to do more reading and to film videos, and so I do it when I can. I'm excited about this year. Like I said, I feel like I'm gonna read a lot of good books, and I'm very excited. So thank you for coming along the journey, and I will talk to you in my next video, whenever that may be. Bye.